𝐁𝐡𝐚𝐠𝐚𝐯 सदस्यमान भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। आनंद कोटि वैष्णव की जय। नामाचार्य श्री रविदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीप धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। यमुना माई की जय। तुलसी देवी की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। नववेद भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the Asma. All glories to the Asma. All glories to the Asma. Thank you very much. Prahlad Maharaj is considering himself to be unfit for worshipping the Lord. He says, King tostum marhati same harirugra jate. Ugra jate, as I was speaking yesterday, that chili caste, those who are very much in fallen condition by quality. This quality, it is not that one is fallen in quality, he cannot be raised. It is not like that. The practical example is that our European, American students, actually they were fallen in quality. They were in the modes of ignorance and passion, the fallen quality. But they have been raised. So, even one is in fallen condition or in fallen quantity, he can be raised, just like Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj is considering himself that I am fallen. I am born of a father who is fallen, Ugrajat. But he is actually not fallen because he is a devotee. He is not fallen. Just like Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was born in Mohammedan family. But these so-called Brahmins, they thought that he is fallen. But actually he was not fallen. Why? But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted him as the greatest of all chanter, Namacharya. He was the Acharya of spreading Harinam, ideal, symbol, chanting Hare Krishna mantra 3 lakhs times, 300,000 times. Practically whole day and night, 24 hours, he was chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So he was not fallen. But he considered himself as fallen. He was not entering the Jagannath temple. He was living outside. Why he? Even Sanatana Goswami, because he mixed with the Mohammedan emperors. His friends, his master were the big Mohammedan kings and Nawabs. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reclaimed him. The Brahmin society rejected him, outcasted him. That you have accepted. Also changed his name, 𝗬𝗿𝗯𝗵𝘂𝗽. His Hindu name was changed. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu claimed him. And they became Goswami. Bande Rupa Sanatana Raghujigo Sri Jiva Gopal. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. All Vaishnava movement is like that. There is no consideration of fallen or high. No. Anyone, Jai Krishna Tattva Sai Guru ho, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Anyone who knows the science of Krishna consciousness is Guru. It doesn't matter by birth what he is. He may be a Brahmin, he may be a Shudra, he may be a householder, Grihastha, or he may be a sannyasi. Because Krishna consciousness is transcendental to this bodily concept of life. This varnasam dharma, 4 varnas, Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, Shudra, and 4 ashramas, namely Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. They are meant for this bodily concept of life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore said that I am neither a Brahmin, nor a Kshatriya, nor a Vaishya, nor a Shudra. Neither I am Brahmachari, nor Grihastha, nor Vanaprastha, nor Sannyasa. He kept himself, Naham Vippa Nacha Narapati, kept himself aloof from these Varnasam Dharma. Of course, this Varnasam Dharma is the beginning of human civilization. Unless one comes to this state or institution accepting this Varnasam Dharma, he is not to be considered as human being or civilized human being. Varnasamacharvatap purushena parapuma Vishnu aradhate punsha nannat tattvusukar. Because the whole aim of life is to go back to home, back to Godhead. Vishnu. We have forgotten Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, we are loitering in this material world under different species of life in different planetary systems. Brahmanda Bhramite, we are wandering. Why? Because we have forgotten Vishnu. Therefore, this human form of life is meant for realizing Vishnu. But we do not know. Nate vidu sartha gatim hi Vishnu. Om tad Vishnu 𝗬𝗯𝗵𝗂𝗋 sada pasyanti suraya. This is Vedic Rig Ved mantra. That those are suraya, advanced, civilized Aryans. They are looking forward to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. That is the ultimate goal of life. But unfortunately, the rascal civilization, they are not teaching. They are not giving the opportunity to the human society to realize the highest goal of life. Such a rascal civilization at the present moment. Misleading. It is very regrettable that a man is born, especially in India. Every Indian born after many pious activities. To take birth in India is also result of past activities. It is so holy land. This holy land. But unfortunately our rascal leaders, they are misleading people. They are trying to make people forget Vishnu, forget Krishna, forget God, and try to imitate the Western industrialization, economic development. But these rascals do not see that in spite of all economic development and industrialization, they are not happy. They do not see, they do not take practical knowledge from the practical life. But it is very unfortunate. Nate vidu sartha gatim hi Vishnu. Generally, they are misled. But at least in India, they should not be misled. Because in India, the Vedas are there. The Vedic literatures are there. This Bhagavad is there. I am reading this Bhagavad. Where it is made? It is made in India. But these rascals, they have forgotten. So much regrettable position of India. They do not care for of this Vedic literature. Their birthright. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives this hint. Bharat bhumite manusya janma hilo ja. Janma sarthak kari karo paropakar. It is the duty of the Indians to learn all this Vedic literature, make his life successful in Krishna consciousness, and preach the gospel throughout the whole world. That is India's duty. But the rascals are imitating, which is already finished, fallen, so-called economic development and industrialization. Nate vidu sartha gatim hi Vishnu. In Berkeley University, one rascal student was asking Indian student, Swamiji, what this HareKrishna movement will do? We have to learn now technology. And yes, you learn technology and remain beggar forever. You go and beg, give me rice, give me this. Now America is stopping this aid. Now the whole government is perplexed. So, this is the position. Apon dhan bilaye diye bhikkha mage porer kache. They have forgotten their own assets and they are begging. Give me rice, give me wheat, give me powder milk, give me money, give me loan, give me. And their own assets, they have forgotten. Apan dhana bilaye diye bhikkha mage porer kache. This is the position. Because they have been, now one boy, he has come to us, and his father and mother is very much perplexed. Now the boy is mixing with this Krishna, HareKrishna movement. Better let him become Naxalite. They will tolerate their children to become Naxalite, but they will not tolerate that he is going to the American sadhus and becoming Krishna conscious. This is the position. Okay? So, because nate vidu sarthakatim hi Vishnu durasayaji bahiratthamanina. They do not know the ultimate goal of life is to realize God, Vishnu. Durasa, they are hopelessly hoping against hope. How? Bahiratthamanina. This materialistic way of life, they are thinking this is the perfection. That is not. That is Ugrajata. Ugrajata means those who are born in the modes of material nature, ignorance and passion. They think that this material economic development, exploiting the natural resources will make them happy. Nate vidu sarthakatim hi Vishnu durasayaji bahiratthamani. Why they have become so? Andhāgathandhai rupaniyamana stepi satantra urudamni badhya. Because they are being led by blind leaders. Andha. They are themselves blind. Everyone is blind. Born blind. Otherwise, why you are sent to school and colleges to take knowledge? You are born blind. Janmana jayate Shudra. Everyone is born like animal. The process of birth by parental sexual intercourse, that is there in the animal life and human life. Therefore, the human life birth is not different from the process of birth of the animals. That Janmana jayate, therefore, by birth everyone is a Shudra. Shudra means almost animal. Then sanskarat bhavedya. The second birth is required. Not finished that birth. Birth by father and mother, that is first birth. That is as usual to the animals and to the man. There is no difference. The process of birth is the same. But the next birth, sanskarat bhavedya, the reformatory method, garbhadan sanskar. Before giving birth to a child, there is a sanskar, there is a ceremony. That is called garbhadan sanskar. And the higher caste, especially the Brahmin Kshatriyas, unless they observe the garbhadan sanskar, immediately he becomes a Shudra. So in this age, Kali-yuga, Kalau Shudra Sambhava, almost everyone is born Shudra. Everyone. Kalu Shudra Sambhava. Because there is no Garbhadhan Sanskar. So where is the question of becoming Brahmin, Kshatriya and Vaishya? That is not possible. So these are the process of Varnashram Dharma. But they have left everything. Now simply by force one is claiming that I am Brahmin, I am Kshatriya, I am Vaishya, like that is false claim. Ugrajata, actually Ugrajata, unfit for self-realization. But it is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is the mercy of Lord Krishna. Krishna prescribed this method. Māṅ hi pārtha vipāsritya jopisu pāpajuna sriya sudra tatha vaishya stepi janti parangati. So Krishna has given open order for everyone that if anyone takes shelter of his lotus feet, vipāsritya, jopisu pāpajana, they are considered pāpajana. Those who are not under the reformatory method, they are called papajani, impious species of life. Even women are considered like this, striya. Not all women, this fallen women, they are also considered. This is the statement. Shudra, Sri, Shudra and Vaishya, they are considered on the same platform. But our point is that even we are in the fallen condition of life, there is no impediment to make our progress in Krishna consciousness. There is no impediment. Mang hi partha vapasritya jepi supapajuna sriyavasya tatha sudra. In Srimad Bhagavatam also it is said, kirata hunam yapulinga pukkasa abhira sambha javanakasa. Generates of papa, even others, most abominable. They can shuddhanti, they can be purified by accepting this Krishna consciousness. Therefore this movement is scientifically being propagated on the authority of Vedic literature. Not that we have manufactured some movement. So, everyone, it doesn't matter. Prahlad Maharaj will explain that. Because all these demigods, Brahma and others, asking me to pacify the Lord, then it is to be understood that manne, I therefore think, dhanavi janarupa tapassutauja teja prabhava balapau rasabuddhi yoga naradhanai bhavanti parasya pungsha bhaktya tutosha bhagavan gajajutapa. Are with me? Therefore he says, manne, I think, because I am fallen, I am born of a father who is not in Satagun. He is in Rajagun, Tamagun. So therefore, I am Ugrajat. But still, Brahma and other demigods has ordered me to pacify the Lord and offer prayers. So, by calculation, it is not possible that I shall offer my prayers to the Lord. But because they have recommended me, therefore I think, manne. Manne. He says manne. Manne means therefore I think. What is that? Na dhanavi janarupa tapassutauja. Dhana, riches. Haritosane sasya ajaggata asankya yoggutang sambhavayati manne iti dabhyam. Siddhar Swami says that Haritosane, actually I am unfit to offer any prayer. It's like it is a system. A Brahmin is allowed to worship the deity. Not a non-Brahmin. That is the Vedic system. But he was son of a person who is less than a Shudra. He was a Rakhas. Therefore, he was unfit from birth. So therefore, Siddhar Maharaj said that evang haritosane sa ajoggata asankya. He was doubting about his eligibility to worship the Lord. Actually, unless one is situated on the platform Brahma realization, one is unfit to offer any worship to the Lord. Krishna says that jisam antagatam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dandamahani mukta bhajanti mam dhirabrata. So, lower birth means they are not free from the resultant action of sinful life. That is lower birth. And Krishna says that unless one is free from the contamination of sinful life, one cannot become a devotee. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj, he knows, because he is a devotee, he knows. Therefore, Sridhar Swami is commenting, asankya, doubting his eligibility to worship the Lord. He is doubting. Asankya, Haritosane sa yogatam asankya yogatang sambhavayati manne. So he is thinking twice. He is first of all thinking, because I am born of a father who is so abominable, therefore by birth I am, because this body is my father's body. So the father's quality must be there. But at the same time, he says, the manne, then I think that one can become transcendental to this bodily concept of life simply by engaging himself in Krishna consciousness. Sagunan samatitta itan brahma bhuyaya kalpa. Anyone who engages himself in the Lord's service, in full Krishna consciousness, he becomes transcendental to all material qualities. Material qualities means satagun, rajagun, tamas. Sagunan samatitta itan brahma bhuyaya kalpa. The same way, what is the sound? Cut, 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 cut. Therefore he said, manne, I think. So what is that? Now, dhana means riches, one who has got money. Dhana abhijana. Manne dhana abhijana. Abhijana means aristocracy. Born in very high family, rich family, aristocrat family. Manne dhana abhijana. Abhijana means satkule janma. To take birth in Brahmin family or aristocratic family, a Kshatri family, Brahman, Kshatri and Vaishya, they are not Vaishya, Brahman, Kshatri, they are taken as Satkula, higher aristocratic family, or pure family, by culture, not by birth. Satkule janma, rupam, saundarja, beauty, these things are attractive. Janma sajja sutta sri, the four things. Janma, to take birth in high family, aristocratic family, rich family, that is due to pious activities. Aishajja, to acquire riches, money, immediately after birth, he is proprietor of crores of rupees. This is not accidental. Don't think accidental. To take birth in a rich family, in a high family, that is due to pious activity. Janma sajja sutasya. So these things are being analyzed. Dhana, abhijata, and saundarja, beauty also are attractive. If a man or woman is beautiful, he or she becomes attractive. Saundarjam, sutang. Sutang means pandityam. Panditam, education. Sutang, this word is very significant. Panditam does not mean to read only. Panditam means to hear. Srutam. Therefore Vedas are called Shruti. Shruti, one has to hear from the bona fide spiritual master. Then he can become Pandit. Not that purchasing a book from the market. I purchase one Bhagavad Gita from the market and I read. No, that is not Pandita. You must hear. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti tad jnanam jnanina tattva darshan. Tad vidhi, you try to understand where? From the tattva darshana. That is called Shruti. Here. Don't try to become a learned scholar by reading yourself at home. That is not possible. Therefore, Vedas are called Shruti. It has to be heard from a bona fide spiritual master. This very word is here. Shruti. Shrutoja. Knowledge received from the bona fide spiritual master by hearing, by giving oral reception. That is knowledge, Pandit. That is real Pandit. Otherwise, simply ABCD knowledge is not Pandit. That is not realization. Therefore, this very word is used. Srutam Pandityam Oja Indriya Naipannam. Oja. Power. Power means sense power. Oindriyajam. Not important, potent. Oindriyajam. Teja. Teja means bodily lust. Kanti. Beautiful. A man or woman is very beautiful. There is a luster from the body. These are material qualities. Teja, Kanti, Prabhava, Pratapa. Prabhava means if somebody says something, it has to be carried out. Just like a father says to his son, he must do it. A master says to his servant, you must do it. A spiritual master says to his disciple, that is called Prabhava, influence. Whatever he says cannot be disobeyed. Prabhava. Then Balang, Shariram. Balang means bodily strength. Just like Shando. Body, that is also a qualification. Shariram, Paurasam, Uddhama. Enterprise. A man is very enterprising. Especially nowadays, there are many industries. They are enterprising. They invest their money, risk their money, and make further profit out of it. From 20,000, they make 20 lakhs. That is called Uddhama, enterprise. Then Buddhi. Buddhi means prajna. Prajna means intelligence, sharp intelligence. That is called Buddhi, prajna. Yoga. Then comes yoga is also material. People are very much fond of yoga in the Western country, but they do not know this is only material exercise. Yoga, everyone knows, Ashtanga yoga, yam, niyam, asan, dhyan, dharana, asan, pranayam, dhyan, dharana, then pratyaha, then samadhi, ashtanga. 8 kinds of defined process by bodily exercise. That is called yoga. First of all, one has to make yam, niyam. It is very difficult. The so-called yogas doing everything and has become a yogi. That is not yogi. First principle of yoga is yam niyam. You sense control. You cannot eat everything. You cannot do everything. That is called yam niyam. Then practice asana. There are different kinds of asana. Then dhyan, dharana, pratyaha. There are so many rules and regulations. It is not at all possible for a person in this age, not only at the present moment, 5,000 years ago, when Arjuna was advised for this yoga practice, Arjuna flatly said, my dear Krishna, it is not possible. He accepted his inability. Such a personality like Arjuna, who was talking with Krishna face to face, and such a warrior, he felt unable, and now they are practicing yoga, as if they have become more than Arjuna. This is only false, bluff. You cannot practice yoga. And even if you practice yoga, here it is said, you cannot satisfy by yoga practice the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even if you practice it. First of all, you cannot practice it. It is impossible. At the present age. And even if you practice, Prahlad Maharaj says, even yoga, this yoga, he says, Manne dhanabhijana rupa tapassuto tira prabhava balapau rasa buddhi yoga. Naradhanaya. These are not qualifications. This material qualification to become beautiful, to reach, having very bodily strength and very beautiful luster and practicing yoga, so many things. But they are not, I mean to say, means for offering prayer to the Lord. They are not fit even. Manne, he sees. Because he can see that Brahmadaya Suragana. Suragana means all demigods. They are all qualified with all these material qualities. They are very beautiful. They are very strong. They can practice yoga. Not only, they have attained the perfection of yoga. Ashtasiddhi animalokima, prapti, ishita, bhashita. So many things. There is Siddha Loka. There is a planetary system, Siddha Loka. They are all yogis. They can travel from one planet to another without any aeroplane. Siddha Loka. So, all of them arrived there to pacify Lord Nrsimha there. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj is analyzing Manne Dhanabhijana. Manne Dhanabhijana. Rupa tapassuto tira prabhava balapau rasa buddhi yoga. Because all the demigods, they are all qualified with all these qualities. In high strength they are qualified, not like human being. A human being may be very beautiful or very strong or may be successful in yoga practice, but the demigods, they are called demigods because they are thousands and thousands times more perfect than the human. Therefore they are called demigods, almost God. So, Prahlad Maharaj thinks that these things, ete dhanadaya dadashapi guna parasya pungsa aradhanaya na bhavanti. All these material qualities, they are not fit qualification for worshipping the Lord. Just see how Krishna is merciful. All these demigods are also unfit to worship Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. Why? Because they are lacking in pure devotional service. They also worship Krishna, because therefore they are called demigods. There are two kinds of men within this universe. One is called Deva, and one is called Asura. Asura means they have no connection with God. And Deva means those who have got connection with God. So they have connection with God, the demigods, but for some material profit. Just like Krishna says, Artha arthati jigyāsu jnani ca vardhasa chaturvidha bhajante ma. 4 classes of men who are distressed, who are in need of money, artha arthati, need of money, jnani and jigyāsu. These 4 classes of men begin their search after God and worship God. That is the beginning. But that is not pure devotion. It is contaminated. That is not pure. These demigods, they have got high post in this material world. Just like we also know, there are many rich families, they have also deities in their house, or they have special Thakurbati, God's house. They do. But their purpose is to take something from Krishna. Or Karti. They are not pure. Although they are devoting very nicely, that is also good qualification, because Krishna said, Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukritena. Arjuna. Sukriti. Sukriti means they are pious men. Therefore, even though asking something, some benefit by worshipping the Lord, still they are pious. Therefore, in other words, piety is also not a qualification to approach the Supreme Personality of God. That is also not an qualification. It is above. Sagunan samatitvaita. One who can transcend all the qualities. Anna vilasita sunnam. No other desire. I am approaching Krishna, God, to beg something. That is also good. He is going to beg something from Krishna than the rascals who do not come to Krishna. They are better than. They are duskritina. Who are not coming to Krishna. Namang prabhadanti mura duskritina naradhama. They are described as lowest of the mankind. One who does not come to Krishna, even for asking something. Because people have become so fallen, they do not go to Krishna to ask. They think we shall earn, we shall fight, we shall kill, we shall take money from others, then we shall become rich. This is going on. Therefore, the society has so much fallen, because they do not come to Krishna. Duskritena naradhana, lowest of the mankind, and always full of sinful activities. They do not come. But even one comes to Krishna to beg something, some material profit, he is described in the Bhagavad Gita as Sukritino. Sukritino means pious, because he has come to Krishna. Just like Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj went to the forest to worship Krishna, to ask something, material profit, to ask some benefit, his father's property. But the result was that he became a great devotee, so that his name, that's what Shastra recommends, that even if you have a desire for some material benefit, still you worship Krishna, not other demigods. Akama sarvakama va, moksha kama udaradhi, tibrena bhakti yogena, jajeta paramam purus. Param Purus is Krishna. So even you have got kama, you want something materially profitable, still you worship Krishna. The result will be like Dhruva Maharaj. He went to worship Krishna to ask some material benefit, but ultimately he became a great devotee. When he became a devotee, even 𝐒𝐫𝐢𝐸𝐵, the treasurer of the demigod, he once, Dhruva Maharaj, when he was king, he was fighting with some demons, and by the request of superior Narada, he stopped it. So the demon's forefather, 𝐒𝐵𝐸𝐸, was pleased that you have saved my family. So you can take any benefit. You ask me. 𝐒𝐵𝐸𝐸 means treasurer of the demigod. The whole treasury of the world, he could ask from 𝐒𝐵𝐸𝐸. But Dhruva Maharaj, because he was at that time a pure devotee, he did not ask anything. He said, Sir, if you want to give me some benediction, please give me this benediction so that I may have my unflinching faith on the lotus feet of Krishna. This is pure devotion. He could have asked him the whole riches of the whole universe, but no, he did not do it. He simply said that kindly give me this benediction so that my faith on the lotus feet of Krishna may remain forever. You see? So, this is the ultimate goal of life. Nate vidu sarthagating Vishnu. So Prahlad Maharaj is pure devotee. He is thinking that although I am low-born, but even those who are high-born, full of riches and beauty and bodily strength and yoga, perfection, they are not fit for worshipping the Lord. Manne dhana vijana rupa tapasutauja tija prabhava balapau rasabuddhi yoga naradhanaya bhavanti parasya pumsa. Parasya pumsa. Parasya means Krishna or the Lord does not belong to this material world. Therefore Krishna says, Abhajananti magamudha manasim tanumasita. The rascals, because I come as human being, they think of me as ordinary human. But he is para, parasapums, Narayana para, abhaktyat, Sankaracharya says. So, he is parapurus. Mane, he is above this material world. There is another nature. That is also described in the Bhagavad Gita. Para tasmad bhava anya. Bhava means nature. There is another. Where the Vaikuntha world is. The people do not know. They think these are all fictitious story. So rascal they have become. You see? But these are actual facts. There is another world beyond this material world. We cannot calculate what is the length and breadth of this material world and what we can get information of the spiritual world. But there is. Parastasmat bhavanya bhaktya sanatana. That is never destroyed. In this material world, whatever existence is there, they will be destroyed. So even the whole world there, the spiritual world is not destroyed, and the master of the spiritual world, the enjoyer of the spiritual world, Krishna, how he can be like us, like human being? Therefore Krishna says, Abhajananti mana mudha. Because they have no knowledge, they think I am ordinary man. Parasya pungsa. So, nobody can worship the Parasya pungsa, this transcendental personality, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by all these material qualifications, which are acquired even by the demigods. Then how we can be? Na bhaktya tutosa Bhagavan gajajutapad. Bhaktya, simply by pure devotional service, you can please the Supreme Personality of God. Otherwise it is not possible. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So this is a very famous verse, and so Prabhupada was bringing out two verses actually. Ugra Jatehe. So Prabhupada was telling something about the Ugra Jati, the fallen people. What did he say about the fallen people? And anyone? How he began? Okay. Prabhupada was telling that even if one is fallen, like we have a proof of the European and American students, they have fallen in their quality, but they can be raised to the proper status of a devotee. So then he gave example of two devotees in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, telling that how although they were apparently externally considered fallen, but actually they were great devotees. 2 examples. Yes.
One is Haridas Thakur. He was born in Mohammedan family, but he was Namachar, great devotee. And second is Sanatan Goswami. He also associated with Muslims, so Brahmins outcasted him. But he was also raised to Goswami by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Haribo. Someone is there to play the Mridangam? Okay. So Prabhupada then says, this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. All Vaishnava movement is like that. So what is the criteria of someone to speak Krishna consciousness? Who can become Guru? One verse, famous verse. Who can become Guru? Even if you didn't hear the lecture, you can tell it. Okay, here, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Here Prabhupada says, who knows the science of Krishna, he is Guru.
What is the verse?
Verse.
Jai
Jai Krishna Veta Say Guru Hoy.
Jai Krishna Tattva Veta Say Guru. Haribo. So then Prabhupada was saying that Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was establishing how the Krishna consciousness movement is above the Varnashram. However, Varnashram is also important. What he told about Varnashram? What he told about Varnashram? Hari. Okay. So he said Varnashram is the beginning of human civilization. Unless one comes to this stage or institution accepting this Varnashram Dharma, he is not to be considered a human being. What is the goal of Varnashram? He quoted a shloka, and what is the goal of Varnashram? Prabhu?
Satisfaction of Lord Vishnu by
Really?
by becoming the 4 varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra and Vaishna, to achieve satisfaction of Lord Vishnu.
Ribo. Varnashramacharvata Purushena Parapuman Vishnur Aradyate Pumsam Natya Tattosha Karanam. So satisfying the Lord Vishnu, and this is not known to the people today. Nate Vidu Swartha Gatim Vishnu. He was telling something about Indian land. They are very fortunate, but they are very unfortunate. So what is their fortune and what is the unfortunate situation of Indians? Yes, there, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Prabhupada said that Indians are very fortunate because it's a land of Vedic scriptures. But unfortunate situation is they are giving it up and running after economic development and industrialization.
Ribo. So people are forgetting the Vedic scriptures, they are forgetting Vishnu, Krishna, and they are imitating the Western industrialization. And they are not happy. We can practically see that. And what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's clarion call to all the Indians? What is that famous shloka? Even if you didn't hear the lecture, you will be able to say it. Okay, yes, there. Prem Rupa Krishna Bhu.
भारत भूमि तो होइलो कृष्ण मनुष्य जन्म जार जन्म सार्थक करी करा पर उपकार.
Meaning?
Those who are born in the land of India, they should make their life perfect and help others also to make their life perfect.
Haribo. But instead this one Indian, not gentleman, rascal Prabhupada says, one rascal student, Indian student, he asked in Berkeley University one question to Swamiji. So what was the question and what was Prabhupada's comment on that question? Yes, Prabhu. You want to answer? Yes. Give him.
Hare Krishna. That student asked Prabhupada that what is this Vedic scriptures? We should learn technology. And then Prabhupada said, yes, you learn technology and go on begging.
Hare. What this Hare Krishna movement will do, we have to learn now technology. Yes, you learn technology and remain beggar forever. No? You go and beg, give me rice. No? Yeah. So Prabhupada was elaborating on that further. And then he gave one more example of some father, mother who are not feeling happy when a person he goes after sadhus. So what did the father, mother said? What did father, mother say?
Better the son become a Naxalite, but he won't meet any American sadhu to become Hare Krishna.
Haribo. Well, Haribol for Prabhu, not for those father, mother. Huh? So, yes. So, this is because they are not knowing the true goal of life. Nate vidu swartha katim Vishnu. Durashaya ye bahirarthamanina. Then Prabhupada was defining Ugra Jati. Ugra Jata means what? Anyone? What is Ugra Jati? Okay, there.
Those who are born in the material modes of ignorance and passion, and they think that material progress will make them happy, they are Ugrajati.
Haribo. So why they have become so? Prabhupada himself asked the question, why they have become so? And then he answered the question, why they have become so? Although they were born in Indian land and they are not Ugra Jati, but why they have become so now? Yes, Prahlad Prabhu?
Because of the leaders of the nation, that they have misdirected them and they have made them more westernized, Western industrialization they have brought to India. That's why.
Can you quote the shloka that Prabhupada quoted? Anda.
Andha yatha 𝗦𝗿𝗶𝗋𝗍 tepi satantra ugalami paddha.
Haribo. So blind leaders are guiding people in this blind way. Although people are supposed to go to schools and colleges to take knowledge, but that's not happening. So everyone needs knowledge and one is born blind. So now from the born point of view, Prabhupada said that as someone from birth cannot be automatically a Brahmana. So how he explained the build-up of Varnashram system, how it works actually. What is the Janma and then further. He quoted, yes. Okay, there is one more hand, Shantanu Prabhu.
Prabhupada said that everyone is born a Shudra, Janmana Jayate Shudra, and Sanskarat Bhavate Dvija. So once we perform sanskaras for the person who is born, he is born just like an animal, but once he performs sanskaras, then he gets the second birth. First birth is from mother and father, and second birth is from the Guru. Once he performs sanskaras, and then he becomes fit to become a Brahmana.
Rebo. So because no Garbhadan Sanskar is happening, that means everyone is a Shudra. There is no point talking about Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishya. So, but there is a hope because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is the hope and also Krishna's mercy. So he quoted verse of Mami Partha Vyapashitra, where Krishna also tells that anyone can perfect his life even if he is born in a Shudra, Vaishya or a Stri Jati. And then Prabhupada quotes one more shloka from the Bhagavatam and tells that how this movement is scientifically being propagated on the authority of Vedic literature. So how a fallen person can actually be elevated, it is not something that someone with birth only can be actually Brahmana or Vaishnava. What is that famous verse of the Bhagavatam which tells that anyone from any land can be elevated? Even if you don't know the lecture, you can know the verse. Yes, Prabhu.
किराट हुनांद्र पुलिंद पुलकशा ये बस किराट हुनांद्र पुलिंद पुलकशा आभीर शुंभा यवना कषादया ये अन्य च पाप यदपाश्रय प्रश्रय तस्मै तस्मै शुद्धेत तस्मै प्रभु विष्णवे नमः.
Ribo. So anyone can be elevated. Now what Prahlad Maharaj is doing in this verse is Manye, he is considering all the disqualifications, although they are considered many qualifications. So Prabhupada, he's saying, Prabhupada tells that he counted himself as a Rakshas Jati, lower than a Shudra also. So how can he worship Krishna? Because Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says something where one cannot actually approach Krishna if one is actually contaminated. Any verse? Verse? Famous verse? Huh? Okay.
येषां त्वन्दगतं पापं जनानां पुण्यकर्मणां ते द्वन्द्वमोह निर्मुक्ता भजन्ते मां दृढव्रता.
Ribo. So then he starts counting on each of the items. Dhan, Abhijan. Dhan means riches, Abhijan means aristocracy. And then he tells about Satkula, Brahman, Kshatriya. And then he tells something about Shrutam, refers to something. Panditya or learnedness. Learned means not. So what does he comment about education or someone who is a learned Pandit? Same hands. Same hands. No, here. How does one become a real Pandit?
Prabhupada says that if one can buy the Bhagavad Gita from the market, so he cannot become learned man. So if you want to become learned, then he should approach the spiritual master. So Prabhupada quotes the verse, Tadviti pranipatene pariprasthene sevaya upadakshante jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So,
Ribo. So by hearing from a spiritual master submissively, one can actually become learned. And then he quotes further ones. Oja means power, Indra means important, and then Teja means luster of the body, Prabhava means influence. But all these are actually not qualifications. Shariram Balam also, Uddam means someone has enterprise. So Pragya or Buddhi means intelligence. Then he quoted something about yoga. Yoga he elaborated a lot. So what he told about yoga, how Western people are very interested in yoga, but what they are not doing at all. How can they practice yoga? So how he cut the idea of yoga. Yes, Prabhu?
Prabhupada said that normally yoga means Ashtanga yoga and Yam Niyam are the starting things, but people are not able to do do's and don'ts. And the purpose of yoga is to connect with Krishna. So even Arjuna told that it's very difficult for him to practice yoga, then how can we?
They think they're better than Arjuna also, who could see face to face Krishna. Ribo. And even if one can practice yoga, Prahlad Maharaj is saying that cannot satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, first of all, they cannot practice yoga, then what to talk of satisfying the Supreme Lord with that yoga? And then he said that there are demigods, Suragana, who are actually perfected in yoga. So they are Ashtasiddhi people, Siddha Loka. And then Prabhupada, so he was telling all the qualifications of the demigods. But what is the disqualification of the demigods? Why they cannot satisfy the Supreme Lord? Okay, there. Finally, one new hand.
Because they are lacking in devotional service.
Lacking in devotional service? One word you are missing.
To the Supreme Lord.
Huh?
Lacking in devotional service to the Supreme Lord.
They also do devotional service, but what is the problem? Huh? Pure devotional service. Rivo. That pure is the main word. They are doing devotional service, but they are contaminated. They are doing it for material profit. So Prabhupada gives the example of 4 people who approach the Supreme Lord with the idea of some material contamination is there, although they are approaching the Supreme Lord. Artho artho jigyasi jnani cha paratarshava. They are better than those who don't approach the Supreme Lord. They are the Namam, Prapadante Muda, Dushkitano, Naradama and all those people. So they are Sukritinins, but they are not approaching Lord with a pure desire. So that is not pure devotion service, so they cannot satisfy the Supreme Lord. However, now Prabhupada at the later end, he also tells that one devotee who was not a devotee, he approached with a material contamination, but he became pure devotee because he approached Krishna, so it is worthy. Who is that devotee? Dhruv Maharaj, Haribo. Just making it quick. So he became so pure when one person, later on he was tested to get any material benefit, he did not. So what happened there? He did not take anything material. Anyone? New hand. Yes.
He was having fight with the demons. He was fighting with the demons.
He was fighting with demons?
Yeah, but the superior Narad Muni suggested to stop the fight. So the Kuber Maharaj was very pleased, and he offered that he could ask for anything. So rather than asking for any wealth in the world, he asked for the benediction, that his faith remains always at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Haribo. His sound was very low. So Kuvera was the person who was very pleased, and then he offered benediction, who is the treasurer of the demigods, but then he asked for only the fixity in the lotus feet of the Lord. Haribo. So later, this last 2 words, Parasya Pumsaha. So Prabhupada was elaborating on Parasya Pumsaha. Any devotee who can tell what is Parasya Pumsa? Quickly.
Parasya Punsa means the Lord Sri Krishna doesn't belong to this material world.
He is transcendental. Haribo. And then he quoted 2 verses for this. Narayana para viktat, avyaktat, and parastasmatu bhava anya. So there is a spiritual nature, the spiritual world, and that never gets destroyed while the material world gets destroyed, and Krishna is the master of that spiritual world. But people are avajananti ma muda, they consider him an ordinary man. That is their problem. So what is the last line of this verse, which tells actually what satisfies the Supreme Lord finally? What is the last line? Anyone can tell the line? Tell. Last line. What satisfies? Okay. Bhaktya tutosha Bhagavan 𝐒𝐫𝐢𝐦𝐚𝐝. So Lord is satisfied only by pure devotional service. Otherwise it is not possible. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताई गौर